What is up? So if you are a subscriber, welcome back. If you are not a subscriber, welcome too. And before we jump into today's video, I'm gonna go back a little bit and kind of give you a quick channel update. Back in the spring, I had told you guys that I had a bunch of videos backlogged and that my goal was to put out a video every week of the year for the whole year. And I did good with that up until about July. In July, my wife and I decided to buy a house, and with the whole house buying process, moving in, doing things around the house that needs to be done, I haven't had a chance to get out and make a whole lot of videos. I do get out every few weeks, and I've been able to keep up one video per week so far, but I can't guarantee or promise that that's going to continue. I'm going to try, but we'll see. The last couple videos that I did, I mentioned, y'all seen me hiking, and I mentioned that I was going to be doing a series, like a 12 video series on hiking the hardest trails in Georgia. And I went ahead and got one of those out of the way. I also mentioned in that video that the logistics of the other trails were going to be a pain. And so I had a goal or a plan to do those videos a lot sooner than what they're going to happen. It just happens to be that I come out and I do things most of the time during the week because of my work schedule. I have days off in the middle of the week. Unfortunately, that means that I'm by myself and that I don't have a lot of options when it comes to shuttling or rides to and from. So my only options until I can find help with the shuttle is to do out and backs or loop hikes. And a good portion of those trails that I mentioned in that series are point to point, and I'll need help with shuttles. So I still plan on doing that whole video series, but it's just going to take a lot more time than what I anticipated. So those will be coming out, just not as frequently as I had mentioned before. So let's jump straight into today's video. So as I just mentioned, I am back out here at Talking Rock Nature Preserve, and they have all these trails out here. And in the last video I was hiking. This video I'm going to be doing something a little different that I haven't done on the channel yet. When these trails, I've been coming out here for probably 5 years now, and when I first started coming out here, the trails were pretty much brand new, and there was only like 3 or 4 miles of trails. I think originally the intentions was for the whole trail system to be mountain bike trails, which it is still considered mountain bike trails. But it's a multi-use trail thing now. When I first came out, I hiked what was here, and then I would come out and I would trail run 2 or 3 times a week. Life happened. I stopped coming out for probably a year or so, and then I've started coming out recently again, and they've actually expanded. There's like 11 to 12 miles of trails out here now. Up at the main parking area, they've actually got a pavilion built. They've got a big kiosk with the trail, with all the trails identified on it. They've got a bike station where you can hang your bike up and work on it. They've got tools attached and stuff. I think there's an air compressor up there. So they've made it really nice. And so with that being said, I have made a new purchase recently, which is this guy. Now the thing with this mountain bike is I'm gonna consider it an entry-level mountain bike, but it's tricky because I paid more money for this thing than what you would pay for a real entry-level mountain bike. So this is probably bottom of the barrel of the higher end mountain bikes, even though it's a Shwinn. But it is a 29er. I actually wanted a fat tire, but when I went to look at the bikes, the two fat tires they had, there was issues with them, and they were just more than what I was looking to put work into in the long run. That goes without saying that things aren't going to change on this bike, and I'll eventually, if I enjoy mountain biking enough, I'll probably upgrade to a better bike altogether. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday that way. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday this way. Today is Tuesday, so we need to turn around, ride the opposite direction. I've also got to figure out my gear ratio. I did ride the bike around a little bit yesterday, but I don't know. Figure out the gears a little bit. Thumb is lower. Index is to go higher. Dragon Tooth downhill. We might check that out on the next ride by. Looks pretty fun. All right, made it back to the car. All right, so we made one lap around John's trail. I came back, checked the footage, and it was okay, but made a couple adjustments to my harness and the way the camera holds. And so now we're gonna make a second lap. We're gonna check out the downhill, and then when we get back around to the other side, we will jump across the road and maybe do one of the shorter loops on the other side. And that'll probably be about all I have in me for today. Not having shorts definitely makes a difference in how long you can stay in the saddle. dragging tail downhill. Gotta make some adjustments to my seat clamp here. It was rode my leg on the other side a while ago. Maybe if I turn it all the way around backwards, I think that's gonna catch my right leg. All right, let's see what this downhill is. Oh, that wasn't too bad. All right, made it up that climb, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't walk, but that's okay. Back on John's trail now. Bike seems to have held up pretty well after that jump. They say it's not made for jumping, but seems like it did pretty well. Probably don't need to make a habit of that, but that was too good not to do. Could probably do that section a couple times and have fun. So this is Charlie's fast loop, rated as more difficult. I know it's a short loop. This is one of the ones that I used to run when I came before. This is one of the original trails. I think it's a mile loop. Let's see, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we ride this way. I think going this way we'll have a pretty good climb coming up the other side. And that's it for Charlie's Festival. Yeah, so I've made it to the main parking trail hub over here, and here's a nice kiosk of the whole trail system. Shout out to all these guys down here who make this possible. And so they've got this really cool bike stand here. It's got tools on lanyards in here so nobody can steal them, but you can basically make all the adjustments you need. Bicycle pump, stand to hang it on. I just hung the bike there for purposes. Donation box, and then recently they've actually, there's always been a porta potty out here. It was over here in the edge of the bushes. They've moved it over to this side now, but this is actually new. This whole pavilion they have built up. I'm not exactly sure the purpose, but it's kind of cool. Got a little bike rack. I'm gonna assume that this is here for probably events that are hosted by Sorba or maybe Rambo. If you don't know who Rambo is Roswell, Alpharetta Mountain Biking Association, and then you've got Sorba, which is Southern Off-Road Mountain Bike Association. There's a couple other associations in there. I think they do a lot of the maintenance, like I just showed you on that sign. And so everything we've been riding this morning has been on that side of the road, but there's a whole trail system on this side of the road. I mean, all through here, and I've hiked it and I've ran it before, but originally the plan was to ride everything on that side and then jump over and ride this side, but I'm pretty exhausted. I've been out here for like 2 hours. I've gotten in somewhere around 7 or 8 miles. That's pretty good for someone who first day riding a mountain bike. I'm just gonna ride the road back to the car because the parking where I'm parked is on around a little ways down. This power line here, the trail crisscrosses it several times, and on down probably the far hill down there, there used to be a pump track. So on the way back to the car, I'm gonna check that out and see if there's still a pump track out there. I'm not 100% sure if it's even there anymore, or if it is, if it's overgrown. But you guys stay tuned, and I'll see you back at the... And there you have it. Bike is back on the car. We're ready to roll. So I did ride past the old pump track area. I think the little pump track is still there, but the weeds were like as tall as my head, and there were no trails off the road to get in there. I could have done like everybody else and just drove, but that's why we have issues with trail systems now, is because people don't follow directions. But I'm gonna come back out in a few days and pick up all the trails on the other side of the road, and I'll be sure to bring you guys along for that. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the bike today. It rode really well for what it is. It handled the jumps pretty well. They say they recommend not hitting the jumps, that it's more of a enduro style bike, but the few small jumps I did hit, it handled it pretty well. I don't think the shocks bottomed out. It didn't feel like they did. I'm probably not gonna make that a habit, but anyways, good first ride. I definitely have to get some shorts. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I got in probably 7 or 8 miles today, and I'm a little sore, but shorts will help that for sure. I have a whole list of trails, mountain bike trails from easy up to double black diamonds, that I'm planning to ride over the fall and into the winter. So be prepared for an influx of these mountain bike style videos. I've also got at least one 3 to 4 day hiking trip planned coming up at the end of October, and there's probably going to be some hiking done around between Christmas and New Year's. I actually have that time off, so I think I'm going to be doing some hiking then, and then past that I don't have a whole lot scheduled yet, other than I think there's going to be a hiking trip in February with an old friend. He reached out, he wants to do some hiking on the AT, like a 6 or 7 day trip, so I think I'm going to make that happen. And then in between all of that, I'm going to be trying to figure out and get some of these hardest trails done for that video series. So you guys just keep following along. I appreciate the views, I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the subscribers, the ones that have subscribed and follow along each week. So if any of you guys ride mountain bikes or in the North Georgia area, you want to get together, reach out. I'd love to be able to do some riding with everybody. So that'll be it for this one, guys. I will catch you on the next one.